Hello everyone, welcome to Soulful Repair. Thanks for joining us. Richard and I are pleased that you're here. We'll be doing a he said, she said style reading, and these are not sign dependent and they're also not time dependent. So it's a very intuitive reading and you're guided to it at the time when you're meant to view it. If you enjoy this reading, then please be sure to check out our Soulful Repair playlist here on the channel for more of these style readings. Now let's get started. Hello everyone, welcome to Soulful Repair. My name is Michelle.
My name's Richard.
Let's get started with the reading. For your oracle cards, firstly from Le Vampire, you've pulled the card of Sacrifice. Of course, it is about renunciation, an offering, letting go. So what needs to be sacrificed here? Well, something needs to go in order for you to have more. So it's not a feeling of loss here. It's really just, I get acceptance in order to bring in more, or more of what you would like in the future. Now, Richard has pulled from the Dark Mirror Oracle the card of Gilded Regret.
I feel like living in the past. Please give me 5 more minutes to linger. The cage of our memories is the most gilded. Memories are like floating underwater, safe and warm and murky, yet they hold the scent of death. So there's a feeling that we're talking about somebody here who's spending too much time living in the past, thinking about the past at the expense of the present.
So along with the sacrifice, the messages that I'm getting from Spirit before we even start this reading is that perhaps the past, something from the past needs to be sacrificed in order to have more. So let's see where this goes. At the bottom of the deck, I've got the Queen of Swords energy.
And I've got the Lovers in reverse.
So let's get started with this reading. We'll start with the past energy, the present energy, the near future, your advice or your best path to follow, what's happening around you or how others may be seeing you, your hopes and fears, the outcome, and the overall energy or what this reading is about.
Okay, past, present, near future, advice, environment, hopes and fears, outcome, and the overall energy of this reading.
And remember, either side can resonate, so however you identify, that's your message. Let's get started with the middle, the Nine of Cups in reverse. So it speaks of wishes having not been fulfilled. The energy that I'm picking up around this is that there's something that has been very much wished for, but it either hasn't come to fruition in the past, or it's a message from Spirit to perhaps rethink what makes us happy.
All right, so looking over here at the overall energy, we have the High Priestess in reverse, which speaks to a lack of intuition, or more correctly, somebody not using the intuition that they have.
In the past, we've got the Two of Pentacles in reverse. So trying to keep many different things going, but feeling a loss of balance.
And control.
There's an energy here of not being certain. I think that for a while you may have been very sure of what made you happy, but something happened to kind of turn that upside down. It created a situation of imbalance, of flux, of change, but the change made you feel out of control, and right now you're needing to really take a good look at what exactly is going to bring you a sense of satisfaction. What is it that you want? Because you can't remain in a state of feeling insecure. You know, this is it takes a lot to try and keep these juggling these balls in the air here. So you really have to decide. You have to choose one thing or choose one person in order to focus on finding happiness. Otherwise, this is just going to keep you in a state of discontent, of unhappiness.
All right, so looking over here in the past, we have Temperance in the reverse. So it's a situation of not feeling balanced, maybe overindulgence, or just plain not feeling like you're at peace.
Where you currently stand, we've got the Six of Swords in reverse. So mentally, there's a feeling here of being stuck in the past, not being able to move on, still being in a very rocky stage of your life. It's mainly centered around how you're thinking about this, though. It's about a change of perspective, a need to let something go, to make a sacrifice, or something that's keeping you stagnant, that's keeping you in this cycle of negative thinking. You won't be able to move on here, I feel, until you discover what it is that you truly want. That's number one, what's going to make you happy. And two, you decide to actually do something about it, take action, rather than stay in this place where you feel stuck, where you're stuck with a lot of, I get a lot of pain. And I also feel that this is about emotional baggage from past relationships. Not just one, but probably the last couple of relationships.
All right, so looking over here at the present energy, we've got the Four of Wands in the reverse. So it speaks to an inability to connect with somebody whom you're close to. The possibility of a happy home not being realised.
Let's have a look in the near future. Okay, we've got the Three of Cups, so this isn't bad energy. This is about having fun. It's about socialising. I don't pick up third party here. All I feel about this is just starting to enjoy life again. So I like the energy. So I'm wondering what happens here to get you out of this stage where you are feeling very unhappy with life.
So looking over here, we have strength in the future as well. Yeah, this is good energy in the future, isn't it, for both parties? The strength card talking about compassion, talking about all strength, really, just being able to get through things and getting that sense of balance back.
Let's see what the advice is. Beautiful. So we've got 2 threes here. Threes always speak about being able to work together with others. Seems quite good as well. So working together in a partnership or within a group, it's about cooperation, making compromises, and really, I get it as respect as well. I often see this card as respecting the work of others, looking up to people. Sometimes I see it as putting others on a pedestal, but I actually don't feel it in this case.
I think it's about recognising contributions as well.
Recognising contributions, appreciation, and it seems to bring about a place of happiness here, and it also is really just about having fun, is more the energy that I'm picking up here. Just enjoying the moment with that Three of Cups.
Right, so looking over here at the advice, we have the Eight of Cups. It has that air of sacrifice about it, doesn't it? Being able to walk away from something that no longer has any real place in your life.
Walking away from the past. Let's have a look and see what's happening here in the environment and how others may be seeing you. Really nice energy again. We've got the Five of Pentacles in the reverse. So turning things around. Where there was a feeling of lack, of not having enough, you're now starting to recognise what needs to change when it comes to your thinking. So I'm loving it here. It's really changing a mindset from a place where you feel like you don't have enough or that you aren't enough to a place where you start to appreciate what you have around you, recognise that you have the ability within yourself to change the mindset from one of maybe a bit too serious, a bit too dark, to one of a bit more fun, a bit more frivolity, really just changing the mood. I get it as like changing the mood from one of somberness to one of let's just have fun and really just kind of take the expectations off the table.
When one's feeling gratitude in the present, it's hard to feel negative about the past.
Yeah, it's true.
All right, let's take a look over here at the environment. We have the Four of Cups in the reverse again. Nice energy. It's a negative card here turned in reverse. I always like that because it means that things that were bad are now getting better.
Hopes and fears. Well, the Nine of Swords. I see this as both a hope and a fear. You hope to come out of this dark stage that you've been in, that dark night of the soul, a time where you've had trouble feeling at peace. When I see these two cards together, it speaks of not being to find rest, not feeling a sense of peace and stability. It's the opposite of calm, isn't it, Richard? It's very much that inner turmoil, our thoughts kind of going around and around in our mind of all of the bad things that have occurred in our life, rather than focusing on the good things that are around us. It's like turning on the news and getting bogged down in all of the negativity there and not being able to let it go. Here it's not paying attention to as much to that negative energy, and instead turning a mindset to one where you focus more on what's just going to make you happy in the moment.
Yeah, it's like what this card was saying. It's those what ifs.
Yeah.
That's what goes around.
Beating yourself up over past things, and it's really no point to it, because while you're doing that, you're wasting time. You're wasting the moment. And just go out and enjoy, have fun, and see what comes, because that's the exact time where things start to get moving again. Staying here is where you find yourself stuck, and just things don't seem to be happening. You sit there at home and you think to yourself, well, why isn't anything happening for me? Well, it's because you're constantly thinking about what you don't have. Changing that mindset to one of just where you go out and just really just focus on being in the moment and having fun in the moment, and not being focused on what you don't have or what you feel like you've lost in the past, will change things from a place of not having enough to one where you realize that you really just have to appreciate the gifts that you've been given in the moment. We always want to keep improving ourselves, of course, so there's that factor here as well, of putting the work in to keep improving your mindset, and see what happens. See what miracles can happen when we change our mindset.
All right, so looking over here at hopes and fears, here we have death in the reverse. So a fear that things won't change, a fear that things won't get better, or that things are going to get worse again.
In the outcome, we have the Seven of Cups. I don't feel bad about that at all. I see this as recognizing that there are a lot of opportunities out there, and we don't have to focus on things that have been lost. Sacrificing the negative thoughts, letting go of the negativity, instead opening up your mind, looking at what's out there. It doesn't necessarily have to mean people, it just means opportunities. Looking at the possibilities, dreaming about the possibilities. Maybe this is just the beginning of just starting to see what's possible.
Yeah, abundance is all around us, isn't it, Michelle? And I think that when we're in a sad state, or a state where we're concerned about what we've lost, or we're concerned about not having enough, we tend to put the blinders on, and we don't open ourselves up to those other possibilities that are out there.
Right.
Okay, let's look over here at the outcome. We have the Six of Swords, which I really like. This is energy of moving away, moving from rough waters into calmer ones. But as Michelle's often pointed out to me with this card, she says that these two people here are a little bit sad. I mean, there's no happiness here. These people are moving on, but there is some sadness, there is some regret, possibly some gilded regret here. But the point is that they are moving on, and that this is not always the way it's going to be.
Yes, so moving on. It's a feeling here of sacrificing past memories of something that didn't work out in order to have more in the now. And then having more, feeling like you have possibilities in the now opens up the chance for more opportunities to be coming towards you in the future.
Yeah, so looking at both of these sets of cards, it's hard for me not to imagine that this is just one person.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing, Richard. It could be a couple that are just coming to the realization that that things need to change.
But they're both kind of in the same place.
They might be in the same place in life, so we have to, it could be two things. It could be a single person here that's just come out of a relationship and is finding it difficult to move on. But there's also a question of two people together that have been in an unhappy relationship for maybe some time and start to realize that they can change things by changing their mindset of how they feel about who they're with, instead of perhaps thinking about people from the past and focusing on them. Instead, making that sacrifice in order to bring in more, whether it's staying together or whether it's going separate ways and looking at other opportunities. It really could go either way at this point.
Yeah, we'll see what happens in part 2 in the extended version.
I hope that you join us in the extended. The link is below in the descriptions box, and that will be available on the Vimeo channel. So we do hope you join us there if this is resonating. If you'd prefer a private reading, of course, you can email gypsyinsights@gmail.com, and that email's also in the box below. If you are interested in looking at other readings that are done in this he said, she said style, but that are not sign dependent or time dependent, please do check out our Soulful Repair playlist here on the channel. We wish you the best. We'll see you in part 2, or we will speak to you soon.
Thank you, goodbye and good luck.